Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, and welcome to another episode of Things They Missed in the blank episode. So this is for the episode My Octopus and a Teacher. Of course, this is the most recent episode of The Simpsons, where in Tapped Out we got an episode tie-in in part of the season 33 prize track, which of course gave us the brand new replacement for Mrs. Krabappel, which of course is Miss Peyton. So Miss Peyton was the item that was added, but this video, what I like to do is I go through the episode that she was added from and kind of just conclude whether she was the best thing that was to be added, and also go through all the other things that I think would have been perfect things to add as well. Not necessarily perfect to say, but just the things that they could have added from this particular episode. I often feel that these episode tie-ins actually could create an entire mini-event in themselves. I think that could be like a really interesting thing they could do, just like a very, very easy, simple mini-event that you can follow on side of on side of the event that's currently going on, which kind of gives us 5 items instead of just 1. I think that's an extra thing they could do. Maybe that's asking for too much, but Miss Peyton I do think was the best thing to add from this episode by far. I think the Octopus would have been cool, but I think Miss Peyton is quite a significant character, and I'm hoping that there isn't anything too unique to her character that we learn later on that kind of nullifies her tapped out inclusion, but we'll have to see. It's all, the future is what will kind of determine that. But anyway, today like I said, we're going to be going through all the items, so I've split this off into different categories. Let's start off with characters. So, in terms of characters that they could have added instead of Miss Peyton, we've first of all got Hubert Wong. Now, I only have included him just because, although yes, he only really has a cameo appearance, he is shown to be a part of Lisa's little documentary crew, so I figured he was somewhat important to the plot there. I don't normally include the cameo appearances just because I'd be here forever otherwise, but I think his one, he kind of is shown to be included within the group, so I thought I'd throw him in there for you. And yeah, he's a character that's been around for a while, so it would be cool to see him in the game at some point. Then, of course, we've got Molly, which is the octopus that Lisa kind of adopts for the episode for a little bit before presumably releasing her back into the wild. And yeah, would be pretty cool to see Molly. I definitely think they could actually make Molly into a full playable character. I think there is enough there to warrant and justify a full playable character instead of just an NPC. So I would say that I would prefer her to be a character compared to an NPC. So yeah, that's Molly there. Pretty cool, so I chucked her on there. She would definitely be the second item that I would want after Miss Peyton, but I do think Miss Peyton is still the thing that I want the most. And then finally we have Darryl Peyton, who is of course Mrs. Peyton's husband, who is shown a few times in the episode. He's shown in the flashback at the hotel, but he's also here in the school as well, and he plays the clarinet, or he plays something anyway. He's like a bad musician basically, I think. But yeah, he could have been a cool thing. Obviously, I want Miss Peyton above her husband for obvious reasons. She's a much more significant character. But it could be cool down the road that we could get Darryl Peyton. And like I said, if they were to make a bigger deal out of this, these episode tie-ins and actually do like a full-on almost like a mini or minor event, they could have thrown Darryl Peyton as like a premium thing or something. But yeah, obviously he would be cool to get down the line, but for now, I think Miss Peyton was a better character to add above him. NPC, I've just got this like small shark that attacks the squid in the opening sequence and in the movie. Nothing very significant. I think with water animals, it's very tricky to add them. Aquatic life. It's very tricky to add them in the game. And I'm not sure if they really could add this shark. The only way I could think of is to add it as like a decoration that kind of floats in the sea, or potentially like an NPC that only interacts with the water. They haven't done that as of yet, but it's possible they could do that in the future, so I thought I'd just chuck it on there as a bonus. And then in terms of costumes, we've got a few. We got, I guess you could call it Diver Lisa as a costume that they could potentially add. This is what she uses to sort of discover the octopus and film her documentary. So this could be a potential costume for her, as well as they could tie these two things in. You have documentary Lisa, the documentarian Lisa, where it's just her in this shirt really, where it says Future Nature Documentarian, and then on her back I think it says "Don't interfere" or something like that. And they could combine these two outfits here, so this could be the main costume, but then it has an animation with this particular outfit, so that's potential. And then you have like Summer Miss Peyton, I guess you could call it, or Beach Miss Peyton, where she has this dress on, and this is where she saves Bart, and then she also appears like this in Bart's dream as well. I don't know if it's that significant to add, but I thought I'd chuck it on anyway, just as an extra bonus thing. I try and grab as many things as possible, and this episode honestly didn't have that many things in terms of characters and costumes that weren't just cameos from previous characters. And then buildings, there's actually only one new building they can add, and that's the Paradiso del Mare. And actually, this is a really cool looking building. I really love the look of this. I think this would be an excellent addition to Tapped Out for sure. It's just a really nice looking, fancy hotel. So, yeah, maybe sometime down the line, this could be added with Darryl, possibly. He'd be a perfect character for this to come with. Yeah, it's a really nice looking place. I also, as well, just as a note, they could add the summer Bart or scuba Bart, or whatever, where he kind of drowns or he's nearly drowning at the hotel. They could add that costume as well. I forgot to include that, but yeah, they could add like a scuba diver Bart or swimwear Bart, whatever you want to call it. Then we have all the different decorations. So we got the Future Nature Documentarians banner here. That could be kind of cool to get. Obviously, there's the scuba Bart there, as you can see in this one. So that would be the costume they could add, or swimwear Bart. Then you have the Most Ethical Filmmaker Trophy. That could be probably be a small decoration, but I mean, it's possible. You have the Octopus escape-proof Octopus tank, which ends up not being very escape-proof. Not very interesting, but it's potential. You have these sculptures. This is the one that Bart makes, and this is the one that Milhouse makes. I don't know if they could always add these as like bigger buildings and actually add them as buildings instead of decorations. They've done that before with different sculptures that have been shown in the game. So that's possible, but yeah, I think on their own, they could also be like just bigger decorations. That could be kind of cool. You've got the security booth at this hotel at the, what's it called? Paradiso del Mare Hotel. And then as well as that, you've got the Paradiso del Mare pool. So I think this could be added like separately, basically. We could get this hotel, and then there's a separate decoration. You could get the security booth and also the pool. So yeah, this has like a little water slide here, which could be kind of, you know, a neat little thing. A bit like JG's pool and mansion. They could add them as like separate things. Yeah, I think that could be, you know, it allows a bit more freedom with building the building. And then we have the various different sculptures that are showcased at the end of the episode. You have obviously the Great Wall of China here, which is a sculpture. You have Christ the Redeemer sculpture, and then you have the I don't know how to pronounce it. The Mayan pyramid. You have the Colosseum. You have that building in Peru, which is here. You have the Taj Mahal. I actually really like this one. I think this one looks really cool. And then finally you have is it Peter of Jordan? 3D prototype by 6th grade. Whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I know what the others are. But yeah. So they could be added. I actually think they could be like really cool. Or maybe they could just do like a big, you know, whatever. Add them as like one big decoration, because I think they are like, yeah, they are really cool. I actually really like these like different sculptures, so it would be cool to get them in the game. And then in terms of building skins, you got the new 7 Wonders of the World banner for the school, which honestly I don't think it's necessary to add this, but like I said, I like to try and get everything that was possible. But there you have it. So yeah, in terms of, like I said, I think Miss Peyton was the best item to add. I think Molly would have been the second best character to add. It would have been cool to get this building for sure. I think I would go for this as my third option. My fourth option would probably be just all these sculptures combined in one or separately, whatever it may be. And then the rest is somewhere after that. But yeah, I liked the episode. I think it was a bit simple, but I like the stuff with the octopus and how it kind of it kind of, they cross paths with the stuff with the Bart storyline. I like it when it does that, when the A plot and the B plot actually meet each other and affect each other, rather than just having an A plot and B plot that kind of don't ever intertwine, and end at different points. I like it. It's clever when they're able to find a way to interject them and make them actually affect each other, which is what happens in this episode, because obviously Lisa changes her mind because of hearing the conversation between Homer and Bart, and Bart has kind of wrecks the end, the sculptures by getting attacked by the octopus. So, yeah, I really liked this episode. I think it was a pretty solid episode, actually. In terms of Miss Peyton as a character, I think she's fine. She's a bit too nice for me. I don't know, like, it's difficult, because I see where they're going for in the comedic aspect, but I'm worried it's going to get old fast. She's very, like, oh, no, I don't mean like that. I don't mean like this. I don't mean like that. I don't mean like this. You're troublesome, but I don't mean you're troublesome. It is kind of like an old shtick. I don't really, for me at least, I don't really find the comedy in it. I see what they're trying to do with it, but for me, it's not that funny. It's just annoying. So I'm hoping they don't stick with that characterization, but we'll have to see. So there's my mini review for that episode, and there's my things you missed as well. So anyway, if there's anything else I missed that you think would have been a cool addition, let me know. And this is everything I could find anyway. But yeah. Anyway, we've got to stay tuned for Marge the Meanie, which of course we're going to be getting a building for. It's been revealed. We're going to be getting a building for that one. So the prize track, the season 33 prize track, is going to end with a building from the Marge the Meanie episode. So we'll have to wait and see what that is. And of course, that's when my next What They Missed episode will be. And I guess my final one. We'll have to see if they do a season 34. I might do a video talking about that. We'll have to see in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this particular video. Let me know your thoughts, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.